How's it going, monsters? No. How's it going, fellow viewers? Nathaniel here. It's Tuesday. That's right, and everyone knows what Tuesday is all about now, hopefully, if you're in Australia. Otherwise, it's Friday for Americans. It's Supernatural Day, and what better way to start off this week with the next installment in the brand new season of number 12. So let's not waste any time, let's just jump right into it, shall we? So when we left off last time, we saw that Crowley was on the hunt for Lucifer, and getting pretty close, it looks like. Dean, Castiel, and Mary all rushing to find Sam's location in time, and Sam locked in a dark, desolate room with no one around him to care for. He's basically stuck, okay? He's in prison. Can't really think of any more adjectives because I just want to get straight into this episode. So you know what? Without further ado, let's watch episode 2. So we start off with a bit of, whoa, what the hell? I did put on Supernatural, right? This isn't like some sort of porn parody or anything, right? Gee, it'd be really, really odd if I... Sam? And Tony?
Isn't this much more pleasant, Sam?
I gotta say, I did not see that happening.
Well, you know what they say. Opposites attract.
Okay, here I was thinking that perhaps this was going to be the start of an awesome torture scene. It turns out the only torture is for all the women who aren't sleeping with Sam at the moment. It turns out that Tony has decided to screw Sam because, well, as he likes to put it, I guess decided to take things literally. But of course, because of this newfound intimacy, turns out that Sam has been able to tell Tony all sorts of questions. Which is ironic because that's exactly what he was being tortured for. Something seems a bit fishy here. I should use my deductive reasoning to figure out what exactly it is. But getting away from the PG-13 sex scene, we see Castiel is trying his hardest to try and track down Sam's location. Now, of course, this would be quite tough, but considering he's an angel, he should be able to find him pretty quickly, correct?
I've checked all the motels, abandoned buildings, no sign of Sam.
Dean also needs some advice on how to handle his mother. Turns out the two of them aren't getting along as well as you would hope. Dean, constantly trying to find a way to make small talk with his mother, is having a hard time dealing with the fact that she's been dead for 30 years. Sorry, trying to adjust to the fact that the world has changed around her.
No internet your first time around.
Our house didn't have an electric typewriter.
And the fact that her son is a person who fights monsters for a living.
It's just gonna take me a second to catch up, you know?
To catch up, you can always order all of the seasons of Supernatural, now available at your local store. Buy it on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital HD today. Of course, she does bring up a valid point about the fact that she is probably going to be unable to face Sam the same way that she has Dean.
That yellow-eyed thing would never have come for him that night if I started all of this.
So obviously, Dean is going to say something comforting and say, no, of course it's not your fault, right?
It's just surprising.
I guess we're done with that scene. Dean gives no encouraging words of wisdom to his own mother. What an ass. But it looks like we're going to head back into bed with Sam and Tony. Threesome. Or however many people are watching this quadrusome, 800-some. This video is going to get 800 views. Right? But it looks like as incredible as the sex was, it wasn't enough to trick his mind to thinking that everything was okay.
Is everything alright? Is everything alright? You'll have to admit, it was fun while it lasted.
Turns out that Tony has been able to trick Sam by using a hallucinogenic in order to get the proper answers.
What did you do to me?
An hallucination. Created by potion and powerful spell work.
Tony didn't seem to get all of the answers that she required. So, what is she going to do now? She's going to take him on a picnic? Hallucinogenic him into, I don't know, being married with 4 kids? No. She is going to torture him again. Because, you know, death by snoo snoo wasn't fantastic.
Death! By snoo snoo!
Yeah!
Yeah! What are you, gay?
Okay, you do realize that blades are sharp. Did she just stab Sam in the throat or the mouth? Because I couldn't quite make out where it was in terms of where it was on his body. But moving on from the cutting floor, Castiel has been able to find out where Sam has been locked up, but is unable to get in, considering the fact that it has been powerfully warded.
No, it's powerfully warded.
Hang on, wouldn't a powerfully warded house out of all of the other houses in the state been enough to convince Castiel that there might be something fishy going on there? Or is that just me?
Okay, see, buddy, that was your headline right there.
Oh, thank God. Thought it was the only one.
Are we still discussing the same thing?
But you know, he's not the brightest feather in the bow. Yes, we all adore Cass, but sometimes he can be just that little bit hard to deal with.
This isn't funny, Dean.
The voice says I'm almost out of minutes.
Okay. You'll pop in tomorrow morning.
Yes.
I'll just...
Wait here, then.
So with the location found, Dean is about to set off to save Sam.
I don't have to be. I can handle myself. Okay? Alright, good talk.
Dean and Mary are off to save Sam. Seriously, she is one stubborn motherfucker.
Oh boy.
So Sam, fuck, that's a real tongue twister. So Sam has been stabbed. So Sam has been stabbed. Yes. But not in the throat. Turns out it was just a way of trying to trick the audience into thinking that he was dead. Again. And Tony needs to use more torturous methods in order to try and get through.
I've cleared my calendar.
It turns out that Tony wants much more than just Sam and Dean, asking for the locations of every single hunter, finding out exactly what the codes are in the Men of Letters bunker, and, an old favy, why exactly Sam was with Ruby. But as we all know, Jared Padalecki is actually married to Ruby in real life, so let's move on. But before the questions can be answered, turns out that there is a Man of Letters in the British Woman of Letters life. Suddenly I've turned into David Attenborough. I wonder how he would react if he was in this sort of a situation.
You disobeyed orders. Oh, and you should know you'll miss what? Quite dead.
What the hell just happened? So who is this British Man of Letters? Man of Letters is more what I was trying to say. Turns out we don't know much more about him aside from the fact that he's here to clean up Tony's mess.
Been a bad girl, Tony, and I've come to fetch her.
But enough of that important plot point. Rowena is back in town, being played by the dashing Ruth Connell. And who is she having lunch with?
A star.
Is that?
Do you know what they do to young boys in prison? You know those sex-starved convicts just waiting for a fresh piece of meat? We take this to our grave. We take this to our grave. Say it!
It is! Yep, Greg from Scary Movie. Let's face it, that's the only place that you would know him from. Looking quite old, to be honest, but I bet he still packs a punch.
You call the police, and I'll kill you myself.
Not a bit.
A bit of a pansy. With a lot of money, no doubt, but still. Pansy. You know what would be fantastic at this point? A Mark A. Shepard cameo. You know what would be really great at this time? Chocolate to fall from the sky. Knew it was too good to be true. Crowley is here to get Rowena to help him out in order to find out exactly where Lucifer is and how to put him back in the cage. So where is Lucifer exactly? Could he possibly be possessing a old British rock star? Okay, so as it turns out, I'm good at trying to guess what's going to happen in TV shows, but not predicting the future. Who is this rocker, though? I swear that I've recognized him before.
Go see Cleveland.
That is none other than Rick Springfield, Aussie rocker from Down Under. That's right, comes from our town, or my town, because I'm Australian. But the Aussie has forgotten to pay his electric bill, and apparently has also forgotten to close his windows. Oh yeah, tapping is gonna do wonders. Okay, well, I guess it did. But I'll tell you one thing, nothing is gonna faze this guy. Ah! Frame! Seriously though, how can someone be scared about a frame falling over? Bloody... Ah! Ah! Moving on. Okay, well, I guess he's been able to get over that. So he decides to wash his face. It's a nice, cool... Looks like he forgot to pay his water bill as well. I mean, that's what happened, right, in Egypt when, you know, the rivers ran red with blood. It's because they all forgot to pay their water bill. I don't even think they had bills back then. Or plumbing, or paper, or pens to write with. The point is, he doesn't realize that he's actually washing his face with blood. And his proper response... Thanks, Rick. But a bleeding tap is the least of his worries, considering that the TV's decided to come on. Ring much, and the frames have taken a sudden likeness to him.
Hey, we want to be friends, we want to be friends. What's wrong? Hey, I just want to be your friend. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. And all of these crazy shenanigans are not the work of Supernatural, well, they are, but more importantly, they're the work of Lucifer, in the form of a beautiful young girl in a nice pink nightgown. But who is this girl?
Yes, Vince.
How? Well, it turns out Lucifer has been doing his homework and decided to take over the form of Rick's old dead girlfriend.
What?
So that means that if Lucifer has taken the form of the dead girl, he'll be able to say,
Yes.
I guess opposites do attract. Get it? Because he's old and she's young.
Yes.
So it looks like Lucifer has been able to find himself a stable vessel for now, in the form of an ex-punk rocker. Who can apparently punch other rockers through walls.
I said I had plans.
And he's gonna go off and do exactly what he was trying to do from the first episode. But while the rocker rocks his way back to the throne, Dean is at the farmhouse and ready to kick some British butt. If he finds a way in. Try the cellar? Of course that's locked. Hold on, I'm thinking. Is there an open window? Ah, damn, I thought of everything. I suppose you could try the back door.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, yes, he's in. That means that... How did these boys last 12 seasons when they tend to be caught every single episode? So while Dean is getting tied up, I know, I heard it too, Rick has been able to find his way back to the throne, but who sits upon it? Hey, good old Crowley.
I would have thought Bieber was more your style.
That'd be one hell of an episode. No, I don't want to...
Sting! Sting, open up! It's Bieber! Sting! Come on! Sting! It's Bieber, bro!
I swear to God, that if you don't stop, I'm gonna throw this bloody water at you. Alright, here it goes. What the hell was I drinking? Hey, alright, just calm down, okay? Alright, it's just water, nothing bad. Crap, it's holy water. Or sulfuric acid, apparently. Please don't look at me like that. Rowena, do something, please, come on. Okay, well, that's not doing anything. Crowley, do something. Leaving is an option. It's a very bad option.
Seriously?
Oh dear Lord. Rowena is screwed.
You spoil that boy.
So after the torturous beating that the two of them have taken, or the torturous punch, apparently, Tony has come up with the only answer that she could possibly think of.
You live in the love Letters bunker, awash in the world's greatest collection of occult knowledge, and yet you know nothing.
Right. What a waste.
Yeah, it honestly is an absolute waste. Use your head, woman! Oh boy. Well, I guess if you kill him off, then...
Get away from my boys.
Hey! You've done something else! Saving the boys, once again. Mary? You know, I'm starting to think that the reason why they brought back Mary is just so that she can save the boys' skin. Over and over again. Are all British men of letters trained in the art of Kung Fu? What's next? The 5-finger death punch?
Your gun.
Damn it, Dean! Stop giving away your weapons! It's like you honestly want to be...
He's using a Chinese mind control technique. Hard to do when you're unconscious.
Turns out that the great Dean Winchester actually knows more than what he lets on about.
Turns out this ape did read a book or two.
Dean is smart? I thought it was just arm candy. And good looks. Damn it, now he has everything that I don't have. Well, I'll tell you what he doesn't have. A whole... Fuck, he has a fan base. And, lo and behold, here comes Mick. It looks like the British men of letters have actually been collaborating with the American men of letters, but not in the same sense. Tony's apparently been sent to America in order to get answers, but has come up short in forms of actually getting said answers. So Mick is the good guy, as it turns out.
I deeply apologise. She'll face consequences in London. She's ours.
And offers them a deal that cannot be refused about the fact that both Dean and Sam could have a chance to be out of this life for good and side with the British men of letters. But honestly, it seems a bit too good to be true. Since Sam has been saved, Dean has been unshackled, the Winchesters decide to head back home for a nice family feast of take-out chicken.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you, Mom.
All I did was point at some stuff on a takeout menu.
You know, a mother's love. Get the classic Dean pie scene. I swear someone has probably also written a fetish about these two. Dean and pie. Die. That's actually not fantastic.
Could you eat that any faster?
No. No, I'm not. You want it?
No, not now.
We should call the internet and find out as much as we can about these people.
I don't think that's how that...
So close.
Alright, keep eating the pie, Dean, that's... Yep. So after Dean has apparently devoured the entire pie, we get a heartwarming scene between Sam and his mother that has long been overdue.
Mom? For me, just, having you here fills in the biggest blank.
What? Is it a problem that I'm crying? I think everyone should be crying at this point. You're all allowed to. Go ahead and cry.
We're still men. Yes, we're men. Men is what we are.
Okay, not on Bob's bitch tits or anything, okay? Just... Tony Bevel is being driven back to London. Well, she'll be driven to the airport and then she'll get on a plane. We find out that she's actually got more plans in store for the men of letters of America and the hunters that are surrounding them. Rowena has been taken prisoner by Lucifer.
Enemies closer.
No.
Crowley is God knows where at this point. Sam and Dean are back home with dear old mother, and Hitman has apparently taken refuge in London. Interesting way to end it. So, this episode was different in some ways. I mean, it had a lot of laughs, it had a lot of good scenes, a lot of crazy different moments that were in it. Answers were definitely given, a lot of more questions came up, like for instance, where the hell did Crowley go? What exactly does Lucifer have in store for Rowena? But I think the biggest question of all is, who is this British hitman that we haven't even seen his face yet? Overall, Supernatural Season 12 Episode 2, Mamma Mia, gets 7 Rick Springfields out of 10. I guess we'll have to find out exactly who these people are, but I have a real feeling that next week it's going to be back to the same old monster hunting ways. I hope to see all of you then. Until next time, like and favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe to LATHANIELGAMERS, and I will see you next episode. Toodles! Ah! Come on, you wouldn't hurt a zombie, would you? I mean, I would hurt you. That's because you hit me first! Stop hitting me! Stop hitting me. Come on.